Sphen, an Australian penguin who became an unlikely global symbol for equality, has died at age 11. Sphen was one half of a same-sex penguin couple with his other half, Magic. They rose to global fame in 2018 when they became a couple. They raised two chicks together and inspired millions of fans throughout the world. Now, Sea Life Sydney Aquarium is helping Magic to mourn and move forward. Now, for more on this story, we're joined live from New Zealand by Professor John Cockram, a biologist who studies penguins. Thank you so much for being here with us. So, first, what can you tell us about this couple, how they got together and their life as a couple?
So they were in captivity in the Sydney Zoo. I'm afraid I don't know the details about how they came to be together there, but it's not uncommon to have same-sex pairs of penguins in captivity. This has happened for 5 different species of penguins.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And these two, I guess what distinguished them was just how much time they spent together, right? I mean, usually couples sort of form during the mating season and they kind of go away. These ones basically just were together all the time. They even became successful parents, raising several chicks together. What stood out for you about the way they were?
Well, certainly the length of that pair bond is unusual. And then, as you say, normally a pairing is active during the breeding season and not active outside of the breeding season. But it seems in this case the pair was maintained throughout the year.
Yeah. Apparently, Magic began singing when he saw his partner's dead body, and then the rest of the colony joined in. I don't want to anthropomorphize here. We don't know how or even if penguins mourn, but certainly it was touching to hear about that.
So, as you say, it's difficult for us to look with our human eyes at what the penguins are doing.
Yeah. You said it's not terribly uncommon for penguins to form same-sex relationships. I mean, is that unusual more broadly in the natural world?
Well, there are the 5 species in captivity, and captivity, of course, is an unusual situation. There is one species here in New Zealand, the yellow-eyed penguin, where there are male-male couples in the wild. This is in a situation where there are many more males than females, so there are not enough females to go around. And these birds are actively managed, and there in the wild, male-male couples have been given eggs and they'll incubate the eggs and raise chicks. So that has been done in the wild when the birds have been given given eggs. In terms of natural pairings, there is information about the gentoo penguins in the wild, males displaying to each other.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and we're seeing the pictures of them together. I mean, they were so famous; they were featured in documentaries. There were images of them in parades at pride parades, for instance. Why do you think that they resonated worldwide with so many people?
But it might be that people may not be aware of the diversity of breeding situations in wild animals. Whilst there is, of course, the classic male-female, and in wild situations there are all sorts of combinations, several males and one female, different family groups. I mean, you even have in fishes situations where you might get a group of fish with a dominant male and females. If the male dies, one of the females can change sex and become the dominant male. So in this case, the male-male pairing has certainly caught people's attention, and perhaps in relation to human situations.
Yeah, certainly. All sorts of combinations are common in nature, as you say. Before I let you go, I do want to ask you more broadly about penguins. Now, this particular species of penguin, the gentoo, isn't threatened, as I understand, but many others are, right?
Yeah, I mean, here in New Zealand, in our region, we have many penguins. We have the yellow-eyed penguin, which is threatened. Down in Antarctica, the emperor penguins, the largest ones that are found throughout well, right around the Antarctic coast, they breed, of course, through the winter on ice. And as that ice is starting to melt with climate change, numbers of emperor penguins over coming decades may well go down. So there are a multitude of challenges facing wild penguins.
All right. Well, listen, really appreciate getting your expertise on this story that's touched so many people around the world. Professor John Cockram in New Zealand. Thanks so much.
Thank you.